There's a lot of pressure in your 20s to be everywhere at once, to say yes, to do more, to keep up. And when you don't, it can feel like you're falling behind. But when I slowed down, like really slowed down, something shifted. The noise faded and I realised peace was something I'd been overlooking. This is a series about slowing down, about choosing a quieter way of living in a world that's always rushing. I don't have answers, just experiences, and this is where my story begins. I come from an island in the Scottish Highlands called the Isle of Skye. Like a lot of young people growing up, I couldn't wait to leave. I thought there was nothing more boring than this place, and the city felt like the only way forward after school. I also believed that moving back home meant you'd failed or taken a step backwards. But the truth is, the fast pace of city life left me feeling so anxious that I wasn't really living at all. So I moved home, and I've never looked back. Choosing a slower life didn't mean giving up on ambition, it just meant choosing what felt right for me. I stopped measuring my life by how busy it looked and started measuring it by how it felt. Wellness for me isn't routines or rules, it's listening, noticing, letting mornings be quiet and evenings be slow. It's walking more, being outdoors, making things with my hands, getting away from a screen, connecting with people in the real world, and giving myself permission to rest. This series is about that, the small moments, the in-between spaces, sharing how I live more gently and more intentionally. You don't have to live this way, of course, but if you've ever felt drawn to something slower, you're not alone. This is just me, learning as I go, living slowly, and inviting you to walk alongside me. This episode is about unlearning the idea that rest has to be earned, that being busy means being valuable, and that slowing down somehow means falling behind. I'm still in the process of unlearning this, to be honest, but I wanted to share why I started and what's been helping me loosen my grip on hustle culture. I'm just on the most peaceful, lovely walk through nature ever before heading to the city, actually, which is probably not where you expected this week's video to take place, but I thought it could be really helpful. I know it's very easy to preach certain things about living life a certain way when you're out in the countryside and surrounded by so much natural beauty and stuff. It does definitely make it a lot easier to slow down and see the beauty in smaller things and stuff. But actually, what a lot of people probably don't realise about me is that I genuinely spend half my time still in the city, even though I technically live at home because my partner, stays in Glasgow, so I do spend a lot of time down there, and I still try and implement the same things to when I'm at home, and especially with the unlearning that hustle culture. It's everywhere in the city. When you're out here, it's so easy to not even think about that, so not really fall victim to it as much, I guess. And yeah, I know a lot of people who watch my videos don't live in rural places, and so it could be quite helpful to show how I implement things everywhere, not just applicable to when you live somewhere very quiet and peaceful, because that's maybe not too helpful or realistic. And the main things I want to share from this video are applicable everywhere. It doesn't matter if you live in the city or in the countryside. These are things I tried to start unlearning when I was living in the city, and still continue to do so when I'm practice that when I'm in the city, which does tend to be quite a lot. So yeah, even though I'm out in nature right now, I actually just came for a wee walk, get some fresh air because it's such a nice day, before heading to Glasgow. When the weather's like this, I am very sad about it. Look at this. It's so peaceful. For a long time, I didn't even realise I was stuck in hustle culture. I just thought that constant pressure was normal. That feeling like you should always be doing something meant you were doing life right. But over time, I noticed how anxious it made me, how hard it became to rest without guilt, and how doing nothing felt like I was failing. I think that's when I realised it wasn't actually ambition that was driving me, it was fear. Fear of falling behind, fear of not being enough or doing enough. That comparison, fear and conditioning is where the pressure came from, and as soon as I realised this, I I knew it was something I wanted to unlearn. Just walking through the West End, I've got a coffee. It's quite grey. I'm hoping it doesn't rain because I'm trying to find a bench to read my book on. The book I'm going to read is Wuthering Heights. I've just started, I'm on like chapter 3. Coffee finished, bench has not been acquired. Literally in the streets where I'm not seeing any greenery, so unsure. Thinking coffee shop. I'm the bench. I slipped and tripped and got my nails redone instead of going for coffee. But you know, saved money on that one cup of coffee I didn't spend, so yeah. My hands actually look so old and crispy right now because they had to put my fingers in like the dissolving stuff. And it's quite a scary sight. But I mean, found a bench, a bit windy. We'll see how long we last, but I've got a very interesting bag actually, I'll show you. So we've got an acai bowl that I got at the same time as the first coffee, and then Wuthering Heights and some fake tan for when I go back to the house. But this is what I'm after right now. I've got Low Lights Listening Lounge in my ears, a really great band that you guys should check out, Scottish guys. I was actually on holiday with one of their sisters and she introduced me to them. They're great. I'm gonna walk back to the flat. Sorry, Lisa. It's actually quite a wee bit from here, but yeah, I'm just gonna listen to them. They're really good. Delete, guys, I can only apologise for the sound quality and the filming in Glasgow. It's so hard. I just don't have the confidence to bring out an actual vlogging camera. So 0.5 on my phone through the noisy streets it was, and I forgot my mic. But I just thought I would take you along my morning and show you, I don't know, I guess, yeah, how I'm kind of ignoring the noise around me, I guess, if you want to look at it poetically. I just think, yeah, when I used to live in the city and I would see people running around doing their daily lives, it would honestly prevent me from like doing the chill thing that I wanted to do, like read my book, because I would see everyone else like hustling. So as a result, I would genuinely just be like, right, screw this. Like I would like cave basically. I'd be like, screw this, I'm not reading my book, I'm going back to the flat, I'm gonna do work. So yeah, that's really progress. Even though I didn't do anything revolutionary, I literally sat on a bench and read my book. Like a few years ago, I genuinely wouldn't have done that without feeling guilty. And even getting my nails done, like sitting for half an hour, I know like before I would have literally been like, oh my gosh, when is this gonna be done? Like I've got so much to do. I can't even multitask right now because they're doing it with my hands at the same time. Like I can't sit on my phone and do work. Now I'm just like, oh, this is so nice and therapeutic, and how lovely that this is how I get to spend a day off. I had like a podcast in my ears and I was just embracing it basically. And yeah, I think one thing that's really helped me be able to do this, and this might sound like stupid, but is scheduling in days like that. So scheduling in days that I just allow myself to simply be and do what I want to do and like kind of go with that flow. As a very type A person, scheduling in days to go with the flow helps. Sounds stupid, sounds kind of contradictory, but I'm just not a chill girl. It's weird because I'm chill in the sense that I like doing chill hobbies. Like I like doing things slowly, but don't actually have a chill personality at all. I'm very type A. Like best believe I'm in the notes app planning out my days, my weeks, whatever. My life's very structured a lot of the time, which is kind of good and essential given my job and being self-employed. But yeah, just in case that helps anyone, schedule in a day for yourself. Not everyone's got a lot of free time. This could be once a month, one day a month. It could be once every 2 weeks. Ideally, once a week would be lovely, but I would say I probably end up being able to do that maybe once every 2 weeks. Some months are busier than others, but especially at this time of year when things are quieter, once every 2 weeks feels a bit more realistic. And it doesn't even need to be a whole day. It could literally be like, okay, I actually don't have anything from 9 until 12 this Saturday. I'm going to block that period out in my calendar and do what I want to do. And then when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, you see that's literally a few hours. It is nothing. And then it just puts my mind to ease anyways, that I can then fully switch off and relax, because I know that I'm going to deal with everything else that I have to do in another time that I've set aside for doing that or doing life admin bits or whatever. So yeah, equally, if your life is super mega busy and you feel like every time you go to switch off, your mind is just buzzing around thinking of all the things you have to do, also maybe once a week or a few hours a week, again, like maybe from 5 to 8 one night, you're going to dedicate that time to sit down and go through all those life admin bits. So then when Saturday morning comes, you can take that time for yourself off and not be stressing about it. And don't get me wrong, life is crazy for most of us, so the life admin never stops and there'll always be things ticking around your brain. So, it is a skill to learn to quiet that voice in your head that's telling you to be doing more or making you feel guilty for relaxing. Yeah, it's a learning process, but that's a big tip of mine. Anyways, I'm gonna go and fake tan, so next time you see me, I'm gonna be looking a bit crazy. There was a time when hustle culture had such a hold on me that I couldn't even enjoy time with friends without feeling guilty. I'd think about everything else I could be doing, how much more productive I could be, or how staying out late would ruin the next day. And at some point I had to stop and ask myself, what is all of this actually for? It sounds dramatic, but when I look back on my life one day, what will I remember and what will matter to me? It's so cringe to say, but for me it's love and laughter and memories made with people who mean something to me. And even though it feels strange to say, I had to learn that spending time with friends is, and I hate to use the word productive, but productive, because that was a way I could justify it, which is ridiculous, because I'm investing in the connections, in joy, and in a life that actually feels full. So basically, I was redefining what success meant and looked like to me. Have I just really exposed myself in this video, and do I now seem crazy and ridiculous? Maybe. I know I was being quite dramatic in my editing of this and my wording, but it does make me sad when I look back on how I used to think and view things. Actually quite scary how badly I felt those pressures at one point in my life, especially I think during uni and stuff, and then freshly coming out of it, that whole era. But then even looking back in school and stuff, so then I do question where the pressure and the voices come from. The voices, I'm not crazy, I promise, but just that kind of feeling of guilt and stuff that I've spoken about in this video. Is it something that society is ingrained in me over the years, or is it just my personality? Because I know that, especially, I hate saying type A and type B, but I would say I'm more type A. And for example, my sister is definitely we're polar opposites for a lot of things. She's so type B, so chill. And I know for a fact she would watch this back and not be able to relate to a lot of it and be you're being so over dramatic. But for me personally, I'm actually not. I genuinely did used to feel it's so unhealthy. So I do hope that these little points can help you guys, but it does, I do wonder, is it also personality based, because I know that she wouldn't be able to relate to a lot of this. So sorry if you can't relate and this has just seemed really over dramatic, but if you can relate, first of all, I'm sorry, because it's such a horrible feeling, feeling you constantly need to be proving yourself or busy on the grind, etc. You can just be happy and be at peace, and that's fine. You don't need to prove yourself all the time. And yeah, if you do feel like that, I would say a nice way to start trying to break away from that is, like I said, just dedicating like the tiniest amount of time once a month or once every however to allowing yourself to relax or just not have that pressure. And it is uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, like as in like trying to get over that guilt and not act on it, because I used to say, if I was saying to myself I'm gonna have a slow morning, and then I would start having a slow morning and I would genuinely start to feel anxious about me not doing enough, which is so ridiculous, but yeah. And so I would act on that like anxious feeling, and then I would start doing something productive. So when I say it can be an uncomfortable feeling, I'm meaning like, you might feel guilty at the start for not doing more, but don't act on it. You have dedicated that time for you, and you deserve to chill out and just be happy without it being beneficial to future you. Because ultimately just being happy is beneficial to future you, if you want to look at it that way, if that helps you, because I know that helps me thinking that. Stupid. Anyways, yeah. And like I said, the other main way that I think has really like helped me with a mindset shift and stuff is genuinely like reevaluating what success looks like to you. And that comes down to like those deep questions, like what is life actually about to you? Because okay, fine, for some people it might be climbing the corporate ladder, but I think for most of us it's probably not. And then when you start like looking at things in your life based off of that, I think that's when you can have that like mindset shift and realize what's actually important. It's so cringe, but it is true. And again, I feel a bit silly even talking about these things, but I just know like there's probably someone else out there who can relate, and so hopefully this is a little bit helpful. You don't need to earn rest, and also you don't need to justify joy. Peace. And also, I think the final thing that I'll say on this is, when I say unlearning the hustle culture, I'm not meaning like it's just about doing less. It's not necessarily even that, because I know that that's super unrealistic for pretty much all of us. Like, it's all fine and well me being like, what's important to you in life? Joy. Okay, do things that make you happy. But also, life is hard and we all need to work and to survive and stuff like that. So it's not me just being like, do less, chill out more. Like, I mean, it's not that. So I think that's really naive and out of touch to even think that that's, yeah, it's more just about like learning to live more intentionally, I guess. And um yeah, I'll leave it on that before I just start rambling. Next week I want to share with you guys basically how a quiet life, so to say, doesn't mean a small life or like a boring life or whatever, because I definitely used to think that for sure. So I'm going to be back in Skye, because yeah, that is kind of my quiet life, and letting you in on more of that. So if you want to follow along and you don't already, please subscribe. And also, if you're liking this series, if you could leave a like. But also, I noticed on YouTube you can now help boost videos out to more people by like, I can't remember what it's called that you have to do. Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is so silly, me literally showing you guys like, hey guys, this is how you can boost my video, but it's super helpful. I'm obviously doing this mini series right now, but I will also have plans to do bigger, more like, I don't know, put together series on YouTube later this year. So it really helps. Like sharing my channel, I guess. Oh, that's it. There was a wee thing called hype and it's got a star. I don't know, but it would be really helpful and I'd really appreciate it. Okay, right. I love you guys and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.